I went to sea late 1935, early 1936, and I was 13 years old. And when the war started, I'd already been to sea. I mean, the fact that I was involved in a war before a war. Per capita, the Merchant Navy lost more men than any other service. And you've got to remember, of course, that during the war, the merchant seamen went to sea totally unarmed. I want to show you one of the things. This here is an emblem from the Russian convoys. I did 3 Russian convoys, and that's convoys going to North Russia. They weren't exactly the desired way to go to sea, because it was pretty horrific. And I was blown off the gun platform. I landed on my back, and a chief petty officer, medic, came aboard and he said, "You're in a bit of a mess there, boss." I said, "Yes, I am actually." But anyway, I said, "Well, can you get us inside? We've got about 12,000 tonne of vital supplies to give to the Soviet Union that are fighting a war against Nazism."
It's just enjoy yourself. Enjoy the fact that Bill will be joining a few of his comrades very shortly out here on the harbour. And remember, this is Bill's day. We're all going to celebrate the wonderful life that he gave us all.
Well, when I first went to sea, first and foremost, I wanted to be a good sailor. People still talk with each other that we went to sea with when we were 14 years old. You know, we still remember each other.
I want to talk about what I remember of my life growing up with Dad being a seaman, because it becomes a very independent life for the women and children, and in some ways I think that's a great thing. It does make you strong and be able to cope. And my memories of being in the car a lot, sleeping in the car a lot, as the boats pulled into places like Pulpit Point and Kurnell, and then also down at Port Kembla. And surprisingly, I don't know whether I was allowed to say this, but I actually went on lots of boat trips with Dad from Sydney to Port Kembla. But I do remember the homemade ice cream a lot. And I do remember big seas a lot. And as a little kid, watching the waves come over the bow of the boat and we were sort of locked indoors is still quite vivid in my memory. Dad was a fellow who, I think you would agree, had no malice and treated everybody fairly, and I think that's what stood him in good stead in everything he chose to do in life. And what great qualities he had in that area. And not only were they qualities, but he used those qualities for the better of good and helping people along the way. So thank you for coming along today. Really appreciate it, and the rest of the family. It is special for us.
I, like Rob, just jumped on the Bass Trader at the end there and had a look around and checked things out a little bit. But I guess the whole nature of being away at sea, when they came ashore, all the sailors are looking after each other at sea, and then when they got back, they're looking after everybody else's families as well. So I do feel very grateful and humbled by how much everybody respected Bill, and then how much they have looked after our family and all the kind words that people are saying. I'm sorry that my nan can't be here. I'm sure she would have loved it if she was here, and would have, you know, she's very thankful for everybody to come as well.
Relying on your mates is a very important thing at sea, because your mate's your mate.
Oh, just looking at the lovely photo of him. That was Bill. That was just from splicing wire, which he loved. Splicing rope. He'd do all of his own canvas work. Yeah. He had hands like hams, great big strong hands. You can tell seafarers, can't you, from the day. He was such an optimist. You know, the way he'd come along and he'd say, "Oh, well, always a cheerio. And don't let it get you down, son." Well, the Bass Trader, love the Bass Trader. You go down there, he said, "I got it looking like your daddy's yacht." The Bass Trader was a lot of things, but it wasn't your daddy's yacht. But he was a socialist, and working for A&L was really a nice landing for him, because he just didn't believe in shipping. He believed that shipping was an essential part of national security, and part of the reason that I guess Alan and him wanted to go under, if you like, in the oggin, as we say, over the side and in the oggin, because this was, I guess, part of what his life was built around. Seamanship, the Australian coast, national defence and national security.
I'm just an old scruffy old bosun, but I hold dearly to a principle. I was a bosun for over 45 years, and my principle was that I would never ever give a man a job that I couldn't or wouldn't do myself.
So Bill Langlois, Valet Bill, he was a great hero of the Spanish Civil War. He was a Marine. He was Elliot's bodyguard, because he was so tough when they were trying to knock Elliot off. We're putting him to rest, you know, in a way that he's going to live on.
But hey, if I'd have known getting old was going to be this much trouble, I wouldn't have bloody bothered.
Are you ready?
Yeah.
Here we go.
Yeah.
All these great comrades around in this harbour. See you later, Bill. Is that him gone?
That's him gone.
That's him gone. All right, the flowers now. We'll never forget your comrade, ever.
Yeah.
Here's cheers to Bill.
Cheers.
Hey! Hooray! Hooray!
Hooray!
But what else do you want to know? How I met Gloria? Well, I suppose it was the best day of my life. 63 years, which I still love her, she loves me, and we still talk. That's the main thing. That's my darling wife, Gloria. Secret, love. L-O-V-E, love. Or L-U-R-V, love.
Bill and I went to the United Nations Special Session on Disarmament in 1982 with John Benson in New York. And as everybody knows, Bill was a great advocate of peace and disarmament. Yeah, he was a good guy. He really understood the importance of global disarmament.
He was, real inspiration to us, and just someone honest and hardworking and really great social values, shared everything and just wanted everyone to be equal, and was really against racism, sexism, the whole thing. Like, he just was really empowering. Like, when you're in his presence and you're in his family, it feels like you could do anything. You just have to go out and get it.
He was a man who was a legend on this coast. I rate him, myself personally, I've been away 58 years now at sea. This union's greatest rank and filers, the men that were right in the vanguard of this union.
His whole life was entwined between professional life as a seafarer, in which he was one of the best, exemplary. A political life meaning progressive change and making a better world, a more peaceful world at a time of total dysfunction, coming out of the war against fascism in the Second World War, through the threat of nuclear holocaust any minute for 30 or 40 years, you know, and on top of that trying to maintain seafarers' rights to work and workers' rights in this country and around the world.
As his daughter outlined today, he didn't just care for seafarers, he cared for all human beings. And this is why he was so devoted to the Australian peace movement.
I mean, Bill's generation, you know, the war, fighting fascism, and then building what was considered to be the peace, was the greatest time for non-Indigenous human beings in our history. We built, you know, a welfare state, universal housing, universal education. Bill's generation built a better world for us. He was a true maritime worker in every sense of the word, a rebel, a ratbag and a revolutionary, and I love him for it, always will.